So just in the continuation of what we discussed previously, we will have a discussion today focusing on mentor-mentee relationship for self-development and team and family development. So as you know, discussion with Arunachalam Bhaiya draw our attention once again that this right understanding and the sanskar which are developed by the right understanding at individual level is the key for individual transformation and societal transformation. So the collective sanskars is seen as a culture. And for a human culture, again, what is essentially required is to have this right sanskar within me and within each one of us. So the outcome of this right understanding and sanskar within and right understanding and sanskar collectively as a culture reflects into the human civilization. Because what civilization is the expression in the behavior, work, and the participation. And of these three things, the human education, which can take an important role in the development, the personal development, which results into a collective development as a society, which results into a human civilization. So once we start taking efforts for that, then that can be a human tradition. And the continuity of such tradition connecting to the past, present, and the future is possible. So we can just think here, what is our desired participation at all these levels? What do I desire at my individual level, at collective level? So individual, culture, civilization, and the tradition. What is desirable for me as a participation? In the previous discussions, we have seen that personal development and the family team development are the foundation of human society. This right understanding and right feelings. That's what we discussed in the introductory workshops and the refresher workshops. And even we are discussing continuously in weekly meetings. The major concerns in the family is relationship. Each one of us want to live with the feeling of relationship, and we can live with the feeling of relationship by having understanding of relationship, understanding feelings like trust, respect, and love, and the expression of it in our interactions with the other human being through our behavior. So that's basically, the sanskar in the self. Such collective sanskar, which means the collective way of thinking. Like we all are here, we are discussing. So whatever, I want to have for myself, this feeling of trust, respect, and love, that you also wants to have. Right? So collectively we are thinking, and collectively we are able to see the clarity, which clarity is required to fulfill our aspirations. So in this session, we will discuss some of the key points to be kept in the mind in the development process. The self-development, and in the process of self-development, when we help others to develop. So basically, we'll be focusing on these important issues. The most important part when we think of helping others to develop, that complementarity, when we identify the complementarity and takes efforts for the mutual fulfillment, the most important part of it is the feeling of understanding. The feeling of relationship. Just quick observation within our own self. If you have a feeling of opposition towards other, do you listen to that person? No. So if I want to help other, what is essentially required is this right understanding and right feelings within me. Then only the other gets assured of my relationship. The another important thing is when I am interacting with you, when I'm trying to help you to understand something, is I who is taking efforts. I am taking initiative. So it is my responsibility to evaluate my feelings, whether that feelings got communicated in a right sense or not. And such efforts, in one and with our colleagues, with our friends, with our weekly meetings member, with the participants who are attending workshops and who are going to attend these workshops, gradually help in the formation and the development of that human society. So the important thing is that our readiness and the competence to nurture and mentor others, our ability to inspire others to join the team for making joint efforts for a human society. Let me ask you a small question. So you can respond in the chat box, or maybe you can, unmute yourself. Are you a mentor or are you a mentee? Yes. Can you please respond in the chat box? Are you a mentor or are you a mentee? Very nice. I'm also both. Each one of us is the same. Sometimes we are mentor, sometimes we are mentee. I personally, for myself, I'm able to see that most of the times I'm mentee, and very few times, I'm a mentor. So this mentee-mentor relationship, whenever I see and I work for my personal transformation, I am mentee. And whenever I try to help other in their personal transformation, I'm mentor. But then most of the times, I'm mentee. So we are talking about this societal transformation, and in this societal transformation, these collective efforts are important, efforts of our team, UHV team. And what we see, a small diagram, is if one person can take the responsibility of 10%. So the question comes, who will take responsibility of whom? So naturally, the one who has a little more understanding than the other can take the responsibility of the other who has little less understanding, isn't it? So the one can take the responsibility of the other 10, and these other 10 can take the responsibility of another 10. So it goes to 100, and this 100 can take the responsibility of another 10. So that will reach to 1000, and so on. So currently, we have these 11 teams, and the participants, I mean, each one of us are a member of either of these 11 teams. So Ganesh sir has taken the responsibility of the mentors of these 11 teams. And the mentors of these 11 teams have taken the responsibility of another 10, minimum 10 people. And I'm sure that each of these 10 people are also taking efforts to get connect with the other. So this is how we, are developing as a team. And we have, in this process, there are 122 individuals in 11 different teams. And this experiment is quite successful. Each one of us is witnessing the result of this experiment through all those activities which you have conducted in the past. So this is the background. If any one of you has any questions or reflections related to it, you may raise your hand.
हाँ उमेश जी, वो स्लाइड कुछ और दिख रही है अभी।
हाँ हाँ भैया, ये जो ऊपर का पार्ट है ना, हाँ ये जो कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है भैया?
जिस स्लाइड की बात कर रहे हैं वो स्लाइड नहीं दिख रही, और कोई स्लाइड दिख रही है। हाँ अभी ठीक है।
So the next is this.
हाँ ओके ओके।
So we have to start from here now भैया, 1 point.
हाँ मतलब अगर वहां तक पहुंच गए हैं तो
जी 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 पहुंच गए। Okay. Yes. So if any one of you has any sharing. Yeah, Gaurav bhaiya, the font is not clear for just on couple of sites, but as we go further, it will be readable to each one of us. Yeah. So to begin with, each one of us we have to explore a lot in this session, and we have to interact also. So to begin with, it's very important that do I accept the role willingly with enthusiasm, whatever the role I'm doing. Otherwise, there could be a possibility that somebody is saying, or my mentors are continuously talking on it, and that is why I get pressurized to join the team, or few other have joined the team, and so I also would like to join the team. Or there could be my XYZ interest, or whatever the role I'm doing today, I have accepted it willingly with enthusiasm. So this would help each one of us to evaluate our current state. Now, when we talk about the self-evaluation before mentoring, am I able to accept the other as my friend? This is a very important question, because the moment I'm able to accept the other as my friend, I see that he is similar to me. He's also sometimes mentee mentor. I'm also sometimes mentee mentor. Both of us are in a journey of progress and development. We are complementary to each other. And then always takes a very sincere effort for the development of other by doing continuous self-development. So this is first point. Then when it comes to the second point, every interactions, what we have with our mentees, is for his or her well-being, in the sense of his or her development and that awakening process, or our attention is only to encourage him or her to join in some of the activities of program. Because if we take the efforts of helping other to join the team, so they may help, they may join the team with various reasons, but unless they are not able to see that we are working for their well-being, for their self-development, that continuity to remain in the program and the activity may or may not be there. The third thing is, can I at least have this feeling of trust? When we work together as a team, and particularly when we look at our team, our team has got members from all the different states of India, speaking different languages, having different background. And with such a team, this feeling of trust I have, am I able to see continuously the feeling of respect, affection for him or her? Another important thing, when we connect to the people would not get connected if we just keep focusing on program and activities. But a human being get connected to the other human being at personal level. So am I able to discuss and talk on the personal issues, the family issues, and the professional issues with my mentee? And when I discuss these personal issues, it may not be possible to resolve all the issues and the problems of my mentee, but at least are you able to provide him or her some holistic solution? Because most of these problems and the concerns are due to the lack of clarity. So are you at least helping the mentee to get that clarity? So these are some of the important points. Is there any question or sharing you have on this point? As I said, we can talk and discuss on these points.
The font of the heading, there is some problem.
Yes, sir. Not able to fix the problem.
The font is not properly this thing. Can we set it right?
On the next slide, sir, it is right.
Acha.
It's visible on the next slide.
Acha.
And all the next slide, in between only, it's
Acha.
not visible. I guess that required font, may not be there on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Then the another important thing, whenever we discuss with our mentees or, with our friends, and are we able to see the progress and the development has been done at his or her part? Or are we only able to see that, no, he has to travel a lot, he is very slow or she is very slow? So these are the basic point, and on this basic point only, we get connected with other. So acceptance other as our relative, having this feeling of trust, respect, affection continuously, getting involved as a relative. When you accept other as a relative, then you discuss the issues very openly, starting from personal to the professional. and helping mentee to get the clarity, because most of these issues are due to the lack of clarity. Yeah, very nice. Pratibha ji has mentioned in the chat box, as a co-explorer, we try to help each other. Very nice. The another important points, I mean, if you look at the 1.7, sometimes it happens that we are ready for the participation, but due to the lack of clarity in our family, we start getting entangled in the family itself. And there's a possibility that some of us may faced these problems in the past. At least those who are there in this team now are no more facing this problem, but some of us, might have faced such sort of problems, that we are exploring, we are getting clarity, we are willing to participate, but at the level of family, that clarity is not there. Neither the family has able to observe some visible and the continuous changes in our behavior. And that's the reason there is sort of opposition for our participation into these works. And if such things happens, and because of such things, you start getting depressed sometimes, and you are not able to move forward. With your participation in the human society could also get disrupted. In such situation, it's very important that are you able to provide a solution to your mentee, solution to balance the family life as well as the personal, development. Are you able to help your mentee getting the clarity that the family is not opposing you to do some constructive things? The family is not opposing your participation, but the family may not be may be opposing because you started imposing things on them. Rather, working on yourself and making them assured that whatever you are doing, they also wants to do the same thing. So there are two possible ways. The one way is the mentee has got immediate problems in sometimes, and because of that immediate problems, not be able to understand and participate in the work. So as a mentor, we need to help our mentee in solving the immediate problems. And again, I said, most of these problems and the concerns are because of the lack of clarity, and very few problems and the concerns, we get to see because of some systems or other things. So these are some of the important points. Let me see, is there any question or any sharing? Or maybe you could share if you had gone through such situations and how you helped yourself to come out of these situations. Okay. Minu Didi has said, sir, dealing with the same. Okay, and the last point in the self-evaluation before mentoring, that am I available to my mentor whenever, am I available to my mentee whenever he or she is in need? Because sometimes what happens, if your mentee relies on you, accepts you for your understanding, accept you for your feelings of relationship. And then if your mentee is in a trouble in a sense, having because of this lack of clarity, so are you there to help, or you put your priorities ahead of your mentees need? So this is, these are the important things. Yeah, Rajul Bhaiya, which font is required to see these things? Okay, so any question here? Now, when we do the evaluation of our mentees, the important part is that whether the mentee's attention is more on solving concerns and problems or personal development. Because there is possibility that, the mentee he joined with you because he or she thinks that you can provide solutions for the problems and the concerns. But then each one of us is able to see that if we take efforts for our personal development, then in the process, these concerns and the problems also gets resolved, at least slowly and gradually. So the evaluation of mentee on this point is very important. Does the mentee has his own, special purpose or vested interest to get connected with the program? Sometimes we feel that if you get the label of UHV team, you are always respected by the society. The people say that you are doing the good things. You get connected to all the different colleges and the faculties across the India. So all such things, are there. Whether, your mentee listens and pays attention to your suggestions and review given by you, because they often in the process of helping others in their development, your mentor may be give you lots of reviews, right? And these reviews are for your self transformation and the self development. If you are not able to have clarity on certain point, there is always possibility that your mentor would give you input. So do you pay attention on what your mentor says, or do you get hurt by your mentor's inputs? So are you able to accept the suggestions given by the mentors for your self development? Yes, Priya ji. Priya ji, you want to say something? Right. Another important thing is that, are you comfortable sharing your state of mind and the situations around very honestly with your mentor? Or, sometimes you present few things, you share few things, and sometimes, you hide some things. So that feeling is there, that assurance is there or not. All such things are important in the self-development, and with such self-development only we can participate in the societal development. The whole focus is on living. we want to live with our basic aspiration. So whether the mentee's focus is on living with the values or not. Can the mentee is able to do the right evaluation? In many walks of the life, we live in harmony. Is he able to appreciate and accept it? Or, there is a possibility that, you are also in a process of development. The mentor is also in a process of development. And if you are not able to see that mentor is not able to live with the value, then do you accept it? You have that feeling of glory towards mentor, that the mentor is taking efforts for the personal development, or you are not able to appreciate, accept the efforts taken by the mentors. And similarly, the efforts taken by the mentee. Is the other assured with my conduct that mentee is able to share frankly and modestly with me, or has hesitations? So this is also very important part, when we talk about the mentor and mentee relationships for the personal development to the societal development, that both of them are having that assurance in the feeling of relationships, or there is sort of an agitations in terms of sharing the point, sharing the opinions, giving the reviews, and etc. So any question here?
Sir, I was I was not having the mic, just got the mic when you were asking, no? So my experiences, of course, for me, there has been mentors from the morning session I attended. Actually, Ganeshji I had a lot of questions which Ganeshji used to answer it, and I used to follow it, definitely. For me, I don't know, from my childhood, whatever the teachers tell, it was like a God's. I feel that a teacher is a person who is like a God. He can never be wrong. So I used to follow whatever he used to tell. So it has made a lot of change. Ganeshji, then Sharad sir also. Sharad sir, actually, he's from my own place. So with the proposals of UHV, he had made me understood many things which I should be like. He's so younger to me, but he had made me understood many things, clarified many things. As you have told, whether initially when they tell whether I used to get affected initially, initial phase, little bit I used to get little bit hurt, but then I understood it was for the betterment of me. So now I don't, when some suggestions are given, frankly, I don't get hurt. For example, in the session started, I asked one question to Ganesh. It was actually a silly question. So Sharad sir just gave a message. It is clearly there in that, you didn't read it. So that way, and that initially, if it was being told, I would have got hurt. But now I don't get hurt. I told that whatever I am having doubt, I asked the teachers. It might be a silly question, but I didn't notice it properly. So actually in the UHV, I feel, even I've talked with you one day, you had talked with me for 1 hour. It was also very insight to many things. But so mentors are actually doing a lot of, they are really doing a lot of good work to the mentees. But for me now, for me to become a mentor, I think I need to put a lot of effort. I don't know whom I have to mentor, in my college itself, because unless they seek our help, we cannot do anything. But once I saw one teacher she was in my car alone last week. Then she actually told her personal problems and she was crying. So then she had also attended UHV. So with the proposals, I just told the proposals that we had learned. She also was remembering it. And then I told her, just go through these proposals and apply in your life. Then when I met her today, I was in the car again. We were there 3-4, but when she was the last one to get down, then I asked her, how is it? Then she told it's okay, it's going better. So that I think this can be done, the mentees can be done very slowly, I feel.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your sharing. Yeah, and this is how, this is the phases of the transformation, and it's very gradual. And each one of us is going through it. Now, the question is very important, to whom shall I mentor? See, basically, what is mentoring? The most important thing, if we ensure these feelings of relationship with our own self, and with that feeling, you always feel connected to the other. Then you spend your time with the other, you interact with the other, whatever the questions the other has, whatever you try to give that input. This is how we can mentor others. So for the mentoring, the important thing is this feeling of relationship. And we have a whole lot of people, we can get connected to our weekly meetings participants. We can get connected to our students. We can get connected to our neighbors. So there is always possibility of getting into the shoes of mentor, and by remaining in the shoes of mentee. Okay, Priyaji. Tara
Thank
Prasanna.
you.
Thank you. Tara Prasanna ji.
Bhaiya, namaste. Namaste,
Namaste.
sabhi ko. Just to ask a question, Bhaiya, that when we are talking about this self-exploration, and when we are taking all things from natural acceptance, our conduct need to be definite, means will be definite. So in that process, means when I am thinking like I will be working as a mentor, or till now the thought process of mentee is going on, and where we are trying to develop or explore as much as possible. But it certainly is a doubt that when the conduct is definite up to like 100%, yes, the conduct is definite, I can see it's not for a day, not for 5 days, or not for a month, it's like always. So then only can I consider means myself in a state that I can mentor, or I can be a mentor. So that's the question. So I've tried many times to ask, like we share our feelings as a mentee. I means I become very keen to listen the experience of people like you, those who are mentoring us. So but rarely it has been means the sharing is there, but still, so that the question remains that is it the right statement to say that when the conduct will be definite up to say means full extent, then only we can think ourselves as a mentor. Thank you.
That's very interesting question. I mean, we have started our discussions with a question that am I a mentee or am I a mentor? And each one of us has responded that both, right? We are in the process of our development. And in the process, we may able to interact with some people who are having less understanding than us, less clarity than us. Let's an example. What do you think that all the people to whom we interact, do they have the clarity about the basic purpose, basic aspirations?
Many occasions, no.
In many of them, we are able to see that no. So there we can play that mentor role, helping them to understand the basic purpose. Correct?
Yes, yes.
So in the process of our development, we could also help others, right?
Yes, yes.
So we can be the mentor, we can be the mentee. And the best part is that even when we do the mentoring
Yes.
and are aware of our own state, then even by doing the mentoring, you always remain a mentee. That co-exploration thing is always there,
Yes, true.
right? So we all are co-explorers, and we can help each other within the team, and we could also help people outside the team.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, when yesterday we were talking about developing ourselves as a resource person in that way. So it's always means I feel that we our behavior or our conduct has to be definite. Then only it's people will see and people will see the behavior. Then only I mean it is a full transformation, if I will say. So that in that exploration process I always found myself not in that way. Yes, it's definite always. So that's why feeling difficult, not complete in all the sense that
Yeah,
we can. Yes,
what you are saying is very right, that
yeah.
we are talking about living, we are talking about the value based living, and unless I take efforts for my personal development and my living, that confidence would not be there to share the things with the other. But as I said, we are co-explorer. So with that clarity, we can share the content, but to share the content, also the content's clarity, the clarity on the process, the clarity on the feelings, all these things are there, and with such things, we can always help other. Anyway, we are teaching UHV 1, we are teaching UHV 2 in our class in the college. So that mentoringship is there. We are doing it, and
Yes.
these are the steps to be a resource person in that sense. So whenever we get opportunity in our weekly meetings, we can do the presentation in the classrooms. We can do the presentations in the SIP. So through such sort of practice and listening review from the others, it helps in developing ourselves as a resource person. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Minimolji.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, very clear.
Okay, sir. So initially, I also have this doubt that whether we are capable of mentoring, or whether we need some kind of psychological analysis of the problem when you are listening to an issue from the students, because students, they have a different level of thinking than ours, and their issues are totally different from our age group. So when one of my colleagues is having an issue, and definitely if she's having trust on me, she'll be sharing what is going on in her mind. So maybe I may also go through such a situation, and I can better identify her feelings. So, but when dealing with students, I always had a doubt whether we will be wrongly guiding them if they have a serious issue, and whether mentoring will be 100% accurate, or so I also always have had a doubt like that. But when I started talking to students and listening to them, and when they had when you start talking, even within few minutes we can develop a trust between both of us. And when they identify that they can understand their feeling, we can understand their feeling, they'll start talking to us. So that moment I understood that most of the students or most of the people who are having some issues, they want to share it with someone else. If we are a good listener, I think maybe they are identifying that I don't know whether we are giving them exact solutions or analysis, but once they start talking, we can see a clarity that their issues may be happening because of lack of right understanding and based on some imaginations or so. I started applying these principles of UHP, and I when I talk to them from my own
Have you
examples.
got muted yourself?
Hello.
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Okay. So I felt that they can more lead to us, and so many of my colleagues, after I started attending this UHP courses, many of my colleagues used to say that I want to talk to you. I don't know whether I'm giving some solutions or whether they are finding finding a trustable person to talk about their feelings. And then after talking, I will be explaining the examples that I have heard or I experienced. Then they feel that maybe this is so the first thing that the what I mostly apply is about the reaction as well as how we are responding as well as how we are reacting. Then how competition is normally happening and how this how we can be complementary to each other. So these concepts they can very well understand and they can actually relate. So I don't think that we want to be labeled as a mentor or for giving solutions. We can start listening. I think that is the first step we can do. That's from my experience. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, very rightly said. In fact, when we say mentoring, what does it mean? Or when I say volunteering, I'm volunteering for few things. What does it mean for me? See, I'm volunteering in these workshops as a member of FAQ or as a member of PI or as a member of moderators, as a member of resource persons team. What does it mean for me?
This helping others.
Yeah, am I helping others or am I helping myself? Through volunteering, if I volunteer, who gets developed?
Ourselves gets developed more.
So we are not helping others, we are helping
Yeah.
ourselves,
Mhm.
right? We are helping ourselves. Similarly, through mentoring, we are helping ourselves. So when we listen to the other, we get the clarity on the issues. We could understand that which preconditioning the other has, and because of that preconditioning, he is not able to see the way out. Right? So when we are mentoring other, we are helping our own self, and we are also in the process, we are also helping others to develop. But the maximum beneficiary is me. So as when I do the volunteering, the maximum beneficiary is me. My skills, my competency is getting developed. My clarity is getting developed. My feelings are getting established within me. Isn't it? So whenever we say I am doing volunteering or I am mentoring, what is important for us? I mean, what does it mean for us? That's very important. Am I helping others or am I helping myself? Is there any other question? Yeah, so in the process of this helping each other in a team, there is possibility that, when we are working on some of the other activities, or when I have a problem, the other has a problem, we communicate very frequently. And then once it gets over, does that continuity in the communication remains? or gradually disappears, particularly when the other, my team member or my mentee, is not able to dedicate his time or devote himself in the activity. So this is from our side, and similarly from the mentee side, whether this mentee also, I mean, sometimes contacts for many times, he keeps calling you, and then the frequency of the calls gets reduced and gradually disappears. So this evaluation of mentees and mentor, I mean, we can do for ourselves, we can do the evaluations of the other. Sometimes what happens, I mean, each one of us is witnessing to this particular thing. We are in the process of our development. And if we are not aware of our sanskars, imaginations, then there is a possibility that our earlier sanskar get, sensitized. The unexplored sanskar, get sensitized. For example, gaining importance or establishing one's identity, or to become famous or earning respect. In such situation, it's very important that how can we go ahead keeping patience with our mentee. And it's also important that because of such sanskar, the mentee shouldn't get disturbed himself and herself permanently, or at least longer period of time, because it would have an impact on the whole program. And there is a possibility of such situations can happen many times. I mean, it's not only 1 or 2 times, but many times it may happen. So are we able to do our evaluations correctly, evaluations of our sanskar, and are we also able to do the evaluations of other sanskar? And based on these evaluations, are we making program so that the other may not get disturbed within himself for a longer period of time? Okay. Similarly, when we look into the mentor-mentee relationships, the clarity and the continuous attentions to the purpose of the dialogue. Right? So whenever you are interacting with each other, so do you focus on this meaningful interactions, exchange of right understanding, right feelings, and the right thoughts, even within the team members, with your mentor, with your mentee? So this is also very important, and that basically talks about the focus, and that way also we can do the evaluation. Another important thing, as you read in the point 3.2, the right evaluation of mentee with all his state and the situation, what he needs attention, focus, priority, his inclinations. Whether the mind is made up to pay the attentions in the sense of meaningfulness, or at least there is a minimum level of participations in the societal system. While participating in the societal system, does the mentee focuses on the relationship? And the most important thing, while participating in the larger order, focusing on relationship, does mentee is taking continuous efforts for the self-development or not? Because through the self-development only, the continuity in the participations and the continuity of this feeling of relationship is possible, and it can be ensured. On such basis, on these four important things, the meaningful participations, minimum participations in the societal systems, the focus on just participating in societal systems or on relationship or continuous efforts. On such observations, we can take efforts to take the mentee to the next level. So through this, we can observe and evaluate the different shifts taking place in mentee. Is there any input, any questions on this? Deepa Nair ji, you have any sharing? Anupama Gaude ji, Aditya Saini ji, then this continuous, when we, this worldview, the perspectives, the meaningful participations in the suitable program, along with the practices, am I able to do all these things with the feeling of affection? Or my focus remain more on of identifying the issues, problems, lacunas, what has not been done through my dialogue. On the other hand, sometimes your mentee will be very quick to participate. So get excited, and out of that excitement, take a lot of responsibilities, and not able to understand how to go ahead, not able to do this correct analysis part of it. In these situations, he may not be able to invest the appropriate time, efforts, or energy for doing that particular task. In such situations, what should be the balance in which both the work of understanding and the practice can go smoothly? And such situations, are very common, isn't it? Then if you see the point 3.4, am I able to do the right evaluation of mentee while communicating in the group meetings and the other platforms? Can I able to have the same feelings towards who are not able to participate and those who are able to participate? So these 2 points are also very important. The review, am I sharing the reviews and the inputs, giving for his improvements on a proper platform, or maybe one-to-one interactions? Or am I criticizing mentee in the group or on a common platform where the other may not be associated with the same projects or same task? And then when we looked into the team, and in the team, there could be a possibility that few members participate more than the other. And in such situations, are you able to appreciate and acknowledge both, or you pay more attention towards the one who participate and ignore the one who are not able to participate? Yes, Shashank Sahu bhaiya. Shashank Sahu bhaiya. Dr. Minimol.
Sir, always it makes a difference. Like in my college, very few faculty participated in the UHP program. And when we discuss points that is already we have heard or already we have experienced, we find it easy to relate because this is more of an inner process. And those who haven't participated actually, they don't understand what we are talking about, because I think it requires some kind of inner transformation to understand or experience what these words mean, that is right evaluation or right feeling, right understanding. So I think we always feel more easy to discuss with people who have participated than with the other people. Some faculty members, they can understand what they are saying, but the thing is that in 1 day or 2 days they'll forget what we were discussing at that particular point of time. I think it is because they lack this experience of these points.
Sir, I have a different view. Actually, in my college, 90% of the faculties participated. As Madam told, those who participated, they can understand it. But even though they have participated it, they should understand the importance that this will be useful to their life. Otherwise, in my own department, I could see all have participated, but they are not understand. Still, that importance has not come. Only in my department, I have taken interest in my first year faculty who has to teach. Since she has been told she has to teach, she is coming for the meetings. So it is not that who underwent the workshop, they will understand it. I think it is, they need to explore, then only I think they will understand the importance and come to it. And I think I should also, they should see a difference in me also, if they have to understand its importance. So it's nothing like if they attend of course, attending the workshop is of course one first step, but that is done because the principal told to do it. But the proposals being explored, it depends on them, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly true. In my college also, many those who attended just for the sake of attending, many attended, but a few they have explored. I was talking about those faculty.
Yes, very nice. So basically, when we say participation, what does it mean? Participation in the larger order. That is what the participation is. And the participation in the larger order, which means my participation in realizing vision for the human society. This is the participation in the larger order. Otherwise, my participation towards ensuring harmony within myself, ensuring the health of my body, ensuring harmony in the family, ensuring harmony in the nature. So that is what the participation would means. But with this sort of participations also, registering for the workshops and doing the workshops, participating in the workshops, even if we say both these participations, then do we have the same feelings for both those who are able to participate and those who are not able to participate? Because in the process, we have been working in the teams and projects. Sometimes we work on a common project. Sometimes, we have different projects by the different team. So our feelings towards those who are participating regularly and able to perform the task with an expected outcome, and those who are not able to perform the task, or those who are not able to give the expected outcome, so are we have the same feelings towards both, or we over evaluate those who are able to participate and neglect those unknowingly or knowingly who are not able to participate. So are we conscious about it, about our own feelings? Yes.
Can I talk?
Yes, yes.
So I think our feelings remains the same, because when we started seeing others as just like me, those who have participated as well as those who haven't participated, they are similar. Only difference is that communication is more effective with the people who have participated. I think once you start exploring ourselves, we can see that everyone else is similar to me only, because the feelings or thoughts that is going within me is same as others. Only thing is that I am aware of my thoughts, and those who haven't participated or those who are not unaware of these concepts, they uh, don't recognize what is going on within them, and they may start reflecting or they may start behaving based on their thoughts. And so my feelings towards those who participated as well as not participated, feeling remains the same.
Very nice. And with such feelings only, this personal transformation and the collective transformation helping other is possible. That other is similar to me. The trust is there, the respect is there, and affection is there continuously. Very nice. Dr. D.V. SSR Prakashji.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening to all. I'm keenly following the discussion. I have one point to mention here. In our college, yes, many people have done the course. They are into self-exploration. They're participating in Sunday evening sessions and morning sessions also. In the present context, see, the self is there. We are analyzing, we are understanding. We are mentor sometimes mentee, all that is there. So it's a continuous exploration. So to understand ourselves first, at family level, at relationship within the family, and at the institutional level or place of work, understanding others, itself is a great journey for individual. But always the problem comes with the other person. Other person, yes, if he is into this kind of analysis, it's easy to understand the other person. The most of the times, it is the one person who has gone through this course and analyzing, he's in self-exploration, but the other person creating problem the other side. The situation wise, it is different and it is difficult. And I feel in this process, it is a continuous journey. It won't happen at one time, and the whole family within the institution, they should understand and they should take their lives forward. And it's a lifetime journey. That's what I feel, sir.
Yeah, very true. What you said is right, that it's transformation is a gradual process. And in the process of the transformation, we are able to see shifts from one level to the another, next level, from there to the next level. And, between these shifts, fluctuations of my own feelings, my own understanding is always there, because there is whole lot of accumulations of preconditioning and the sensations. And as I keep exploring and evaluating, each of these preconditioning and sensations, in the process, some of my preconditioning and sensations get sensitized. My earlier sanskara, becomes very active and get again disturbed by the behavior of the other, by the inputs given by the other. But again, the moment I get the clarity and gets my attention drawn on a particular point, that I cannot be happy by expecting favorable feelings, attentions, and the appreciations by the other, but the happiness is having this right understanding and right feelings. So with such exploration, again, we keep focusing on our development and we do our self-evaluation. Where am I able to have the expected feelings, the natural feelings in me, unconditionally, continuous, and then we do our own analysis and assessment, and that always helps us for making a program to move ahead in our self-development.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But what you say is that is also right, that all the family members and the society, the people living in the society also need to explore the things within themselves, and this is our basic aspiration. Each one of us aspire for that harmony in the society, the human society, and because of that, we are having these discussions with each other, so that hopefully by the end of these meetings we will be able to make out a program for our personal development, and we will be also able to make out a program for our participation in the human society. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Priya CVG, Priya Didi. Yeah, Geeta Nair ji.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I was thinking about my experience. When I first undergone this program, I was very much excited, and I was thinking that all my relatives and all my friends need to understand about the basic concepts of universal human values. And that way I was telling this to all my friends, and I was encouraging them to participate in this program. But in our university, many teachers, now if I take the percentage, almost 40% of the teachers has undergone this program. But after the initial program, they are thinking that, oh, we are not able to get much. Anyway, this is good. The concept is good. We can practice, but we need to get involved into this, means we need more time. We are not getting the time. And also when we think about, when I think about some of my friends, even though they are very good in their personal behavior, and I used to tell them that, oh, you have to undergo this course. This is very good, and this is very helpful for our personal behavior. And also with respect to our students, we'll be able to help them in mentoring them. And but still they are not able to understand, and they are not getting the meaning of this course. They are not able to understand the actual concept of this course, and they are saying that we are not having the time, even though the teachers, all the teachers are, most of the time they are very busy, and from our busy schedule we are finding time to get involved in UHV and related activities. I'm sometimes, because of that question only I'm responding. What about your feeling? I am, most of the time, if I see this response from my friends, I am getting very much desperate, or why they are not getting that chance to get more refined, even though they are very good persons, but still are they not getting the chance to attend the program and like that? That's my feeling with respect to this.
Very nice. Hey, there's a crunch of time. The lack of time for me.
The lack of time is there, but most of the time in university we have many other duties also. We, other than teaching, other PhD work and many other administrative duties. But among all duties, if you want to do this, you will be able to find time. But they are not getting the basic meaning of this program, and they don't want to understand this. I don't know how I'll be able to.
Deepa ma'am, actually we understood the importance. That's why we are also busy, but we are finding time, no?
Yeah,
because we feel it is important. The teachers are not feeling this is important. That is the thing.
No, Priya. Actually, let them get introduced into this course. That's what I was thinking. In any way, if they are getting a chance, they will, I'm sure that they will be able to continue in this process. But why they are not getting the chance? That's what I'm thinking. Actually, they need to force them to get involved. Many friends are like that. So that's another concern.
Yeah. So this minimum sensitization programs are required. And if you could organize, if we can
Yeah,
have this
that's what I-
sensitizations program.
Yes, sir. That's what
So
I
I'll-
thought. Rather than this 5-day long programs, if you are able to introduce one day program or 1-day workshop, and that way it would be very useful. Then they will be getting an idea, and yeah, that would be useful in that case.
Yeah, I mean, we can also plan for like 1 hour, 1.5 hour, or 2 hours, 3 hours program to share introductory and the basic things about the content and the process of UHV, and to draw their attention on why this workshop is necessary, and to draw their attention, all the time that we are spending doing all different activity, during that time, are we comfortable within, we are happy within, we are not happy within, to understand the basic aspirations. So at least in conducting a short program of 1.5 hour, we could draw their attention on certain issues, and hopefully some of them may get inspired to join for these workshops. Yes, so such things are also necessary. Yeah.
And also, I feel that everyone doesn't have affinity for this kind of concepts at the outset. Like maybe after a longer period of time, they might be getting interested. But sometimes when we listen to certain concepts, we feel that this is much useful for me. So maybe this concept will be useful for everyone. So I will start talking to everyone that this particular thing has helped me so much. Maybe my excitement is not transmitted to everyone as I am expecting. Maybe they don't see the things in the same way. So even our principal last time attended the course, and I was keep on telling him that you attend the second refresher course. He said, I have many things to do other than this. So you keep on attending like that, he told me. So the thing is that he didn't understand they all attended the first workshop, but they didn't understand the importance of this kind of concepts in life. So I have seen him troubling for many things, and I used to tell him that this is what we should do. Then at that point of time, actually, he couldn't understand because you need to experience it. I think in a longer duration of time, many people will attend the program as well as they will understand the concepts. And overall, suddenly we cannot expect everyone to understand all these things and have a sudden transformation. And this transformation, I think it's a very slow process.
Yeah, I mean, even if we look into the total number of participants who have successfully completed this AICT workshops, 5 days introductory workshop, it's already around 30,000. So 30,000 faculty members, the busy faculty members of engineering colleges, have already attended the program, right? And quite a good number of faculty members have attended this program, not only for one time, but repeatedly attending this program, and also recommending, referring this introductory workshop to the other. Each one of us is witnessing these things since past couple of months. Every workshop is getting closed much before the commencement of the workshop. So what is happening, slowly and gradually, those who are listening to it, those who have listened, exploring within herself or himself, connected and related with the life, with their own thoughts, own behavior during the workshops, they are recommending it to the other people. So through this word of mouth, I mean, you announce the workshop on the AICT portal, and in couple of days only 1,600 the participants are registering for it. So this is all happening. Right? Now, with such all things happening, what is our role now? The one stage we have already crossed. So am I ready myself for the second stage development? So my own personal second stage development and the second stage development of this societal transformation. So as you, so these are, some of the important points, and then again, the focus goes on the personal transformations, and we are able to understand that, yes, there is a whole lot of opportunity for myself. I do not have to spare an extra time for that. I am living, right? I'm living in my family, I'm living in my college, I'm living in the society. So wherever all these places, I'm living continuously, simultaneously. If I could keep exploring within myself and able to live with the way I really want to be, that itself is a big participation, because that inspires many people to attend the workshops, to join the team, to accept you as a mentor. Okay, so let us go ahead with the point number 3.5. Am I able to keep my right evaluation while communicating, or knowingly, unknowingly, I claim more than what has happens as a process of self-exploration? And then, am I able to see my sanskars? Am I able to see those sanskar which are creating trouble in my own journey of self-exploration and the transformation, and I take efforts for the purification? Then if you see the point number 3.6, when the mentee makes his point, either individually or at group place, and there is always possibility, if the mentee is not able to have the clarity, not able to see that, with that clarity, then there is always chances of having this incompleteness in his talk. And that time, what do? You try to fill that gap by giving a complete view about the program and about, the perspective, the world perspective, or you draws attention from the critical inputs, right? Because whenever you draw the attention of the other by giving a critical inputs, there is chances in the initial journey the other may get hurt, and the other get hurt, then he or she may feel disconnected. And if he or she feel disconnected, not only will get disconnected from you, but there is a possibility that may get disconnected from the program of realizing vision for human society.
Bhaiya, can you give an example? These two are little 3.5 and 3.6. I'm not able to.
See, for example, I'm sharing this with you, and I know that I'm in a process of understanding, right? I have not reached to the state of completeness of understanding. This is the evaluation, the right evaluation. I'm trying to live with the values, but still I'm not able to live with the values continuously. This is the right evaluation, but I'm trying for that. Okay, this is the right evaluation in the communication. Instead of this, I claim that, now I'm able to live in a harmony all the time. Now my relationship is developed. Now there is no problem in my relationship. This is, I claim more than what it is. And such kind of things may create an hurdle in my own process of purification. because I would think that whatever, I wanted to achieve is done now. So this could be an example of 3.5, that unknowingly or knowingly we claim more, that over evaluation of ourselves. Okay.
Okay, understood.
Yes. And in the 3.6, like when you are interacting with your mentee, the two people are interacting, the mentor and mentee is interacting, and whether individually or in a group, and the mentee is not able to see the things in the complete picture, in the clarity. So that incompleteness is there, right? And with such incompleteness things, he is putting his opinion and the view. Then are you able to help him to get and understand the complete picture and the perspectives, or you become very critical on that particular point of time and condemned on what he has said incompletely? You just catch the word, or you just catch his language, right? And you keep talking about that particular word. So you are not taking efforts to understand the intent behind what he or she want to say, but you are focusing largely on the word or the sentence or the structure. So that could be an example of 3.6.
Okay, Bhaiya, understood.
And sometimes what happens, when we start exploring, becoming aware of ourselves, then there are so much of sanskar, and some of these sanskars are so deeply rooted, and these sanskars keeps creating confusions. And because of such sort of confusions, there is possibility that the mentee may exhibit a sort of disorganized behavior, or in performing task activities or participating into the program. And even with your tireless efforts, the mentee is not able to come out of this position, right? Because he is not able to evaluate those deeply rooted sanskar. Then what you would do? Are you able to ensure the continuity of love and compassion towards him? Or else your feelings are conditional? Okay, so this talks the point number 3.7. Let us see any questions, input here. Any questions or input?
Sir, Dr. Prakash here.
Yes.
3.7, incidentally, today is Sasti, that is 6th day of Navratri. The significance of that is, I will love myself and everyone unconditionally. That is coinciding with 3.7. It is already there in the Navratri each day, the speciality. The 6th day is pointing out that, sir. I want to share with you.
Thank you for telling us an importance of the 6th day. Thank you.
So 3.7, I want to share. There was one student in my class. He used to bunk classes after first year. He was regular. Second year he used to bunk classes, and myself used to myself and the advisor used to talk to him, and at last we got we took principal. We took to the principal. Principal also advised him. But still, when we do the mentor, he'll be all right for some days. But again, then we sent to a counselor finally. Then he came and told, Madam, it is better you only counsel. I don't want to go to the counselor. external counselor. But gradually, so he became okay. But in between, what used to happen is I used to get, oh, I won't be able to. I used to feel that it is not possible to mentor him. But finally, when he reached final year, he became okay. But I don't know, it is because of our mentorship or like with the patients or what. Uh, so sometimes it happens. We get demotivated.
Yeah, very nice. And such sort of basically, I mean, events and incidences provides us an opportunity to evaluate our feelings, that our feelings are conditional, our feelings are continuous, unconditional. Okay. So thank you. Let us see this point number 3.8. Sometimes what happens that you can inspire people, or these proposals can becomes an inspirations of the people. And, out of this inspiration, mentee may accept a task or may take up an activity which is more than his existing skills and the competency. Then what do you do? Are you able to see that? Are you able to do the right evaluation of the competency and the skills of your mentee? Are you able to forecast that he would not be able to complete it? And there would be many problems. Then do you identify your complementarity and mutual fulfillment and try to help him and increase his ability gradually, so that he is successful in the participation? Or you criticize him and give up? So he has taken a task to do, let him do it. I didn't say that to take this task. So while receiving this by accepting the responsibility, he himself has taken the responsibility. So let him pay for it. So what sort of evaluation, what sort of feelings, what sort of complementariness we understand out of it? Yes. Who has raised his hand? Deepa, Dr. Deepa ji or Vinimol ji, both of your hands are raised. Yes. Deepa.
Actually, I have an experience based on this. I was having one student, he's from 2015 pass out, but he was not able to complete his course in 2015. I just came to know about the student in 2014 when he was in the 6th semester. Then I noticed that he was a very good student. When he joined, he was having a very good CAT rank. And after first year also, he was able to complete all the subjects and he was scoring very good mark. Later, after the 3rd semester, 4th semester, his attendance was very low and very major issues in his habits and also in attendance and academic performance, also poor. So in the 6th semester, when I came to know about him, I just contacted his parents and I was continuously looking after counseling him, and I was some sort of mentoring only, like advising him and monitoring him every day, and like that he became somewhat regular in his studies, but still he was not able to complete his course in 2016. And after, when I see his performance in 2016, I made a timetable for him because he was having a large number of back papers, and somehow he was able to complete the course in 1 year. But I was sure that he was having some sort of what should I say, some sort of mental depression or something like that. Through our conversation only, I could identify this. Then I informed his parents about this, and they also took him for treatment. And in between, I was calling him and asking about his progress also. But one day he told me that he is going to Australia for higher studies. I was little bit afraid about this, because if he's moving away from his family, and he was actually not that well. And then I informed his parents, and they were also saying that, oh, we are also telling him this is not good. But he was again looking after for the opportunities for higher studies. But somehow I was able to make him understand about this, and I showed him another opportunity working with another organization. And like that, I was able to make him understand a little bit. So now after that, he also, initially he was reluctant to accept that, but gradually, yeah, we were, and not only me, his parents were also trying. And yeah, but it's difficult if we are all the time motivating him, and after our motivation I saying that, oh, I'll be able to do that, this, but there are some issues with you, and you need to understand that. To make them understand about this, it's a little bit difficult. Yes.
Yeah, nice. I mean, if the mentee is inspired by you or your program and takes up the task which he may not be able to complete in that situations, what you do, that was a nice sharing. But sometimes what happens, that if you see the point 3.9, that mentee could join you because of your honesty, your knowledge, your loyalty in the relationship. But he doesn't get interested in our program, like volunteering or participating in the activities. So can we still maintain a relationship with him in a complementarity way? So this is also an important point where we can, evaluate ourselves, evaluate our feelings, that do we have a same feelings for those who are the part of UHV team and those who are not the part of UHV team. For those who have participated in the workshop and doing this volunteering, and those who have participated in workshops but not able to participate in any one of the program or activities or project. Now the point number 3.10, it says, in the course of mentoring, sometimes it happens that your mentee, due to the previous sanskar and intensive self-exploration, would have developed more than you. And this is also a possibility, that it's not the thumb rule that you are a mentor and somebody else is mentee, and the mentee is going to be a mentee throughout, and a mentor is going to be a mentor throughout. We get to see these things. Very common example when we interact with some young people, maybe teenager or maybe school going kids. They have so much of clarity in their thoughts, clarity in their behavior. Even the students who are sitting in our classrooms, some of them, if you start observing, their participation, so you would see that they are participating in all the activities, the societal activities, family activities, and all such kind of things. So they have this previous sanskar, right? And those who have previous sanskar, a good, better previous sanskar, and after, with such set of previous sanskar, get involved into this intensive self-exploration, then there is possibility that your mentee may would have developed more than you. So looking at his understanding and development, can you understand him and her with an open mind? Are you willing to take inspirations from him? So now, do you have that feeling of glory and gratitude? I mean the glory and gratitude and even reverence towards your mentee? Or the feelings changes and you are not able to accept that to someone I try to nurture, and now he is at a position to nurturing me. Now, if you look at the point number 3.11, it says, in the course of dialogue, do you focus on listening to his or her language and words, or you can also able to hear and listen and understand the basic intention behind the language and the words. So because of listening to the basic intent and responding in that sense, it is natural and the mentee feels more satisfied and comfortable. Right. So are we focusing on only those incomplete dialogues, incomplete words, language, or that focus is there on his basic intention? So these are, some of the points we discuss on how to mentor others. And what we understood basically is mentoring other is self-mentoring. The process of mentoring other, we get developed. So I am taking efforts to mentor other for my own self-development. In the process of my self-development, I could be a help for others to develop in himself or herself. And for that, what is essentially required is this feeling of relationship, unconditionally and continuous. The right evaluation of ourselves and the right evaluation of mentees. And with such right evaluation, we can identify our common program. The common program is to realize the vision for the human society. And then we can participate together in the completion of tasks and the projects, which are essentially required to have the harmony in this society. So some of the ideas regarding to the process, this complete process, the background of this dialogue is our common purpose, the mutual development, self-development, and through the self-development, participating into the societal development. Some ideas for this, like in the beginning of this discussions, as I mentioned that, there are 11 group 1 to group 11. So each of this group can participate in a weekly meeting. And some of this group are already having this weekly meeting. And those, not having this weekly meeting may think about having this weekly meeting. So when we meet weekly, at least, we'll get to know each other. We'll try to understand each other, getting connected with each other. And that's all helps in maintaining and ensuring that feelings while interacting with each other. And that results into the team development, the feel of a family. So at least, each of this group can come up as a family, as a team. And for that, we can meet weekly. So the weekly meeting of this group, individual group. The second thing is organize a family get together. These are just proposed idea, and there could be several other ideas to establish the feeling of relationship. So not these families of, not only the group member, the team member, but the families of this team member can plan for the get together. So we can visit some place, and by visiting some place, we can appreciate that history or the tradition, and we can connect it with today's society, and we can also think about what can be taken from the traditions and history like things. So let's say, for example, a couple of days tour, the family tour, or another idea could be an annual retreat at Manavi Shiksha Sanskar Sansthan at Kanpur, let us say 3 days. So if possible, all the groups can go there together. If possible, half of the groups, if possible, just a couple of groups can go there once a year and, think about what has been done in the past year, what could be in the future. Continue to participate in the projects. And, tomorrow we'll discuss about these projects, but at least, each one of us has this sense, and we know that to have harmony in the society, we are implementing lots of different projects, and we also need to implement few new projects maybe in the future. So each one of us can start thinking about it from today itself, that we talked about these 8 dimensions, the 8 foundational systems for the human society. So we can start thinking about it today, from today itself, that which of the dimensions I have expertise and interest, where I could spare some time and I can participate in the project, like education, sanskar, or like health, holistic health, or ensuring justice, etc., etc. And we can volunteer for the faculty development programs and the other activities. So this another important note, that this program will be helpful for the efforts being made by the AICTE, but also beyond AICTE's efforts in the school education being experimented at IISc Bhopal, in the families attending family workshops across the nation, and in the society at large. So this much I wanted to share from my side. Thank you so much for your listening. Attentively, you're participating, your questions, you're sharing. Still we have 4 minutes. If some of you would like to share whatever the takeaways you have, or if you have any questions, you can raise your hands. I guess, we can share about understanding and learnings and takeaways and kind of things. Yes, Sumati ji. Sumati ji.
Yes, भैया. Namaste, भैया. Namaste सभी को. Am I audible, भैया?
Yes, Didi.
Am I? Yes, भैया. Bhaiya, actually, one of my student, I had a good experience with him. So I want to share my experience. Like in the year of 2012, I got a chance to take for easy department, mathematics for the 3rd semester. He is an later entry student. That is diploma holder and joined in the 3rd semester in our college. I am from Sri Shairam Engineering College. And that guy, no, he don't know mathematics. Simply, he told on the first day itself. He said to me, "Ma'am, I have no basic, so I don't know about the basic concepts of mathematics." And he also told a joke that is, in his generation, no one will do mathematics well. Like he told like that, and everyone laughed. I think you can able to. Understand, Bhaiya. That is, he told in his generation, no one will do mathematics well. Okay, Bhaiya. So, and he had that, yes, Bhaiya, he had that the thing that that he won't do maths also. So I just slowly, I called him personally to my cabin, and I spoke to him, that guy, and motivated. And daily I used to train him with basics and some problems. And he at last, by the end semester, he cleared that subject. He cleared that mathematics 3 paper, and he was really happy. And he came and showed his gratitude also, Bhaiya. And I just I forgotten him, and I had another classes. It was going on like that. And after 1 year, I met he is an hosteler. I just met him on the way, and I was really surprised by hearing his words. What he told, no, Bhaiya, he told that he is guiding each and every later entry guy. He is guiding each and every later entry guy in doing mathematics. I was really shocked. Hey, guy, you itself don't know anything. You are guiding. I was just simply laughing and asking towards him. He told that, no, ma'am, actually, I understood how to take mathematics from you. So only from your motivation, that is only from your training, I too trained how to teach mathematics. And I was very happy, Bhaiya, on that day. Really, I felt very happy. So so the students, they are training by myself. So and he started giving training for coaching for all the other guys. So it was really a good experience for me, Bhaiya, to share this.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity, Bhaiya.
Yes. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Didi. So each one of us, has a number of such sort of examples to share about our mentorship. And yeah, we can also start focusing on whatever being discussed today, and keep doing this evaluation of ourselves, evaluation of our mentees, right evaluation, to have these successful programs with each other. So thank you, Sumita Didi, for your sharing.
Yes, Bhaiya. Thank you for the opportunity, Bhaiya.
Prabhakaran ji.
Yeah, good evening, Mr.
Good
Umesh ji. Good evening. Good evening to everyone. Sorry, this is the fag end of the program, and I just give my query, but tomorrow in the afternoon session, I think if you're coming, I can get the answer, sir. My this thing is, yes, it's interesting, and along with the profession, we can take up the content of this UHV to our higher education students, higher education children, very much. At the same time, I am intended to take this content to the the students matriculation, who are doing matriculation, the matriculates, how to take up this content to the matriculates. I think it's better to write clearly on the clean slate, rather than already written something, scribbled something on the slate. I mean, in a sense, the matriculates are really fresh, and if we imbibe this content of this UHV to the matriculates, I think when they grow, when they come into the higher education, that will be still we can enrich their knowledge on UHV, and further after they come to the profession, definitely this way it will be spreading. So I need tips or clue how to get on, go to the school, and get onto the how to get entry into the school by convincing the teachers and principal or headmaster, whoever may be the in charge of this matriculates students, matriculation schools also. So this is I just wanted to get the tips from you as a mentee, and you are the mentor. So yeah, definitely. Though I am 62 years old, and I have been doing both personal life and in professional life. I've been I have 42 years of experience, but still I've been doing a mentor activity every day in and day out, but still I am the mentee in front of you, and you can give the show or path to work in this direction, Mr. Umesh ji. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your question. See,
Yeah.
tomorrow we are going to discuss on different projects. And
Okay.
one of the projects is this education and sanskar.
Yeah.
So higher education, technical education, and at the same time, the school education,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when we say the school, the
Yeah.
primary, middle, and secondary school.
Yeah.
So we'll have some discussions on this particular point tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But your question is, how do I get connected with the schools? Couple of experiences, the people of our own team have shared, like Srinidhi ji is there. So Srinidhi ji has contacted his, school of his son. So he went there, he approached the principal of the school, and then he discussed with the school and school principal. And he proposed the school principal to have this workshop in the school, session, just couple of sessions, and important for the teachers. And that proposal was accepted by the school principal. And then he conducted, couple of sessions in the school where his own son is studying. So that is like Srinidhi's example. Another example is this Vinay Bhaiya, like he approached a number of schools, and some of the schools, are willing. In fact, he also approached a coaching class, and a coaching class is also willing to, have the sessions. And wherever such possibility is there, he's conducting 1 hour or 2 hour sessions. We have our friends, we have our relatives working in the schools. So that can also be a contact to get to their principals and, discuss with them.
Yeah.
So this way, we can create our contacts and take
Yeah,
it
Jay,
forward.
from the point of connectivity and link, we have already developed such network. But I just request your tips in the sense of something we should attract, some gimmicks or some whatever maybe, attract both students as well as the teachers, so that they get on to our entry.
Yeah,
Afterwards,
we'll have a nice long one-to-one interactions over the telephone.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay. No. Let us keep it open, and definitely in a week, every week, we are attending the meetings, and definitely I will be with you and get.
Yeah, we'll also discuss over the phone.
Yes.
No
Yes.
issues.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good day, good night, and stay safe. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Rajul Bhaiya, can we close here? Kumar Bhaiya. Rajul Bhaiya.
Yeah, very nice. Just want to wish everybody well. So we can meet tomorrow in the evening. Afternoon rather, 2:30. So best wishes.
Namaste. Namaste to you.
Namaste everybody. Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, Sabhi ko.
Namaste.